Hello YouTubers, Tross here. I'm back with some more Kerbal Space Program. Today I'm going to be playing the last of the scenarios that I haven't done yet, which is Station 1, and perhaps we'll do some other things if we have some extra time. Not sure where they got the screenshot, but this is a really old screenshot. That's the launch tower that's been gone for quite a while, and that's the old VAB. Maybe I should have read what we had to do, but I thought we had to launch a new section. We get back to the menu from here. Go to main menu. So is this not really a scenario? It's just a pre-set up space station, it appears. So we got, looks like we got a SSTO space plane here, and little satellite of some sort, or maybe a tug. Dock to things. It's got some RCS and a little bit of fuel, like fuel tanks. Here we have looks like a habitation module, maybe. Another tug with big RCS only tank. This is another duplicate of that. A few extra docking ports. Assuming this has a probe on it somewhere. A little hard to see. I think that's a probe there. So there's not too much here. Let's head back to the Space Center, because there was one thing that was interesting here. We got the Kerbal XX orbiting Duna. We got a ship here with about half its fuel and half its monopropellant. Orbiting Duna. So right now it's on the dark side. I wonder if we can get them back. Wow, that's going to be... Oh, they do have parachutes. I was going to say that's going to be interesting. We have to dock them back to the station, but they do have a parachute. We assume they had a lander. They brought it back up, docked. And this is the command module to get back. Let's see what we can do. Alright, we're at Duna. Everything orbits counterclockwise. To get back to Kerbin, we need to slow down our orbital speed so we drop. Which means we need to fly that way. So, if we add a maneuver here, that should be roughly the correct direction. Oop. Alright. Let's set Kerbin as the target. Of course, now we lost our little maneuver controls. Okay, that's not really doing too much for us. Obviously, our angle is not entirely correct. See if that works out to be better. Not too much. Let's just reset this. Do 2 maneuvers. One to get us roughly going in the correct direction. Where does that actually bring us? So if we add a maneuver here now, which is where we'll be once we escape Duna's influence, we can oh, we'll be here. And Kerbin will be here. What if we wait? You know, that's not bad. This first burn is going to be not much. This burn over here is going to be a lot. But, hey, it's the best we got, I think. So let's try it. I mean, the worst that will happen is we can reset the scenario. Alright, let's, looks like these guys are all skilled up. We don't need RCS. Estimated burn. We don't have the performance of this engine. If it's a little late, it's a little late. It won't matter that much, I don't think. Well, I'll say warp here. Come around into the sun. I got about 4 minutes. I'm just going to briefly test the engine here. So this is a minute 18 burn, which is very doable. Which basically means I'm going to start at 45 seconds. With these engines, you never really want to do 100%. At least not for long, they tend to overheat. And let's start now. I'm just going to back it off to like 90%. Duna out the window. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Something happened. My mouse stopped responding, and I was starting to get static over my headphones, so I didn't want that to affect the recording. So here we are. Burn slightly over completed. So we have to adjust our second burn, which is almost 1,000 delta V, and if we reduce this, does that get us closer? That's actually increasing. We could do this with less delta V. You know, that's pretty good. We have less than 900 delta V here now. We still do it with like 850. Let's get the information out of the way. Is that going less? Yes, but not really that. 41. 40. Ooh. That down to 32. That's probably about as good as we're going to get. Once we get in Kerbin's influence, we can then do a correction burn and can we get a warp here? Get a warp there. So we are leaving Duna behind. So Duna's out ahead of us. There we are. We are now on this blue path here. I'm just gonna do one thing here. As we travel around the sun, our solar panels are going to want to track it. Now, if I try to face the sun right now, while we're going around the opposite side, then we won't be facing the sun. Okay, let's should be return. No. Ah, that's figures in the wrong spot again. Let's... If we turn like... This is basically facing the sun. But these top and bottom panels will be able to track it as we go around. These side ones won't. For example, let's not Duna. I want to Can we warp here? Where's our current path? Well, we're gonna just time warp here the old-fashioned way, I guess. Got a year and 90 days. So you can see our top panel there is rotating. Keep tracking the sun. Only 300 more days. Just a few days away now from our burn. So we're about 4 hours. Facing roughly the correct direction. Let's just get on that exactly. So we're here. There's Kerbin. And we're going to do this burn that's going to slow us up. We're going to fall in. Kerbin is going to catch up to us. And we should have a decent encounter. In almost a year. So, well, it's like 3/4 of a year. This is going to be a bit over 3 minutes, so we want like a minute and a half beforehand. So let's time warp up a little bit. Hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Just under 3 minutes. So we want to start at like a minute and a half. Just a little more. Actually, I should start, say, 1:45, which is now. Knock it down to like 90%. barely going to have enough fuel for this. In fact, we might run out of fuel. Although we're getting lighter as we burn fuel, so... The really interesting part is I don't think this has a heat shield, and we will be coming in rather fast. Fuel's getting quite low. And I'm guessing we will be running out before this burn completes. This engine is beginning to overheat. Not significantly so yet. I'm guessing this might have worked before they rebalanced all the engines, but it may not be possible to get this back from Duna now. Alright, there we are. And we need another 210 meters per second. Well, let's see what RCS will do for us. I don't think it will do much. We need to get almost 2 meters per second per unit of RCS, and I don't think we are getting that. Let's do some physics warp here. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get back. Part of the changes is the nuclear engines now only use liquid fuel. So the oxidizer doesn't get used at all. Yeah, that is using up all our RCS. Alright, let's leave the RCS there. We're not going to be able to get back. I don't think it is possible for the ship to get back anymore. So let's cheat here a little bit. We'll do infinite fuel. We'll finish this burn. We'll watch this intercept. And, you know, that's pretty decent. I'm not sure why that is. So crazy. Add a maneuver here, just so we can warp to it. Why can't we warp? Oh well. Things are not going that well, obviously. Retrograde. Oh. And we're using up RCS. Turn that off. Alright, let us time warp. Here we go, we're falling down towards Kerbin, towards the sun, but we'll intercept Kerbin. Can't really see Kerbin. Should be... It should be somewhere really close to the sun, but probably can't see it in the glare. Supposed to be slightly ahead of the sun, but I'm not sure how far ahead is slightly ahead. Don't really see anything moving against the background stars, which is typically how you would detect planets or comets or things like that. Anyway, we have about 50 days left. down to about 26 days. Maybe it's getting more out in front of us now. Because that is the thing. We will be traveling faster than Kerbin. So it is ahead of us, but just slightly. And we should be traveling faster than it and catch up on it. We're 11 days out. We really should see it. There it is. 5 days out. 4 days. 3. 2 days. Just about a day now. Let's actually go to the map, and actually longer than that out. So let's why is our encounter all wacky? Alright, we are now encountering Kerbin. We are quite low. That's not really doing us any good. Let's radial in. We'll encounter with the moon there. Alright, right now we're only going 720 meters per second faster than Kerbin. But as we approach, we're going to be going quite fast, maybe over 4,000 meters per second. So I want to hit the atmosphere and slow down, but I don't really want to slow down that much. I want to slow down enough to get captured, but not to actually land at that point. So I'm gonna say get this down to 40, 45 maybe. The atmosphere is thinner. Let's say 40. That's probably good. So you can see right now we're going to be shooting back out. But the hope is the atmosphere will slow us down enough that we'll go in a big orbit and then come back for a second. That way we can basically take 2 passes and not build up as much heat. So this is another 200 meters per second burn. So not only were we like 200 meters per second short on just getting to Kerbin. We needed to go a bit further even. So I'm just going to do the burn now, which means it will take less. Here we are. Seem to have lost Kerbin again. Oh, there it is. We're basically, our path is going to be on this side, so we're burning up towards it, basically like that. And I'm going to cut the thrust when we're just about 40. Throttling down a bit. Well, that was probably a little early for that very last. Oop, that was a bit much. Say 42. You see, we had like saved 26 meters per second by doing it earlier than in 3 hours. Alright, let's warp here. Here we go. Say face retrograde. Let's see how we're. Let's. Warp here another 30 minutes closer. Alright, we are already at approximately 3,000. This is speed to be coming in from the moon, and we still have another 5 minutes to fall and speed up. I'm just playing it safe here with this double braking maneuver, but I want to be sure we can survive it. It's time to retract the panels. If we don't, they'll definitely, well, not sure what that was. The camera just spun around. If we don't retract the panels, I'm pretty sure they'll get ripped off. I'm going to leave this stage intact. I'm hoping all these can survive. Actually, it doesn't matter if these survive. We're down to the fuel in the command pod, and technically this is empty as well. But, well, empty of liquid fuel, still has oxidizer. I'm hoping we can make the first encounter with the atmosphere here intact. That's why I'm going a bit high, and hoping it will be enough to get us captured, and then we can come in for a second. You know, I'm pretty sure you can make it in from Minmus without a heat shield. This does not have a heat shield, so I want to slow down, because we're coming in from Duna, which is a lot further away. We're traveling faster. We're already over 3,000, and we're still dropping here. So let's just time warp a little bit until we are in the atmosphere. A little bit of lag there. Yeah, we are certainly picking up speed. 3,300 plus, and we're into the top of the atmosphere now. Now we should see this is slowly increasing, which means it is bending over as we slow down. Hopefully I will have gone deep enough in the atmosphere. Now we're still picking up speed here, but we're not picking up speed as fast as we were if there would be no atmosphere. In fact, and we have stopped picking up speed, are now actually really slowing down. We need to get this under... Well, there's a certain magic speed that's escape velocity. And, alright, here we are. Approaching our periapsis. I think that means we... Alright, we have been captured, but we are now back on our way out of the atmosphere. So we're heading back up. Nothing even gave a hint of overheating. And look at that, we are basically inside the moon's orbit now. Even check to see where we're over. We're nowhere near Kerbal Space Center, which is about over here. We're basically on the opposite side of the planet. And we're just about out of the atmosphere. So that was a relatively safe aerobraking maneuver. We're going to be going out most of the way to the moon. You're gonna take a... Well, it may be a 4-hour trip. We're not actually slowing down that. It's gonna be a 4.5-hour trip out, and a 4.5-hour trip back. And we'll be going about, 3,150 or so meters per second when we hit the atmosphere again. Let's extend just 2 of the panels, so we're not really using power too much. That will get us a little. Let's spin to get better exposure there. That's so we're gonna time warp around. Fly her out and coming on back. that was pretty quick, but and we went, you know, 3/4 of the way to the moon and back. So we're about to enter the atmosphere again. Let's retract the panels again. This time, we should be there for sure. Gonna do a little burn. It's only 35 meters per second. This will send us a little deeper into the atmosphere, so we know we will land. So we'll be down to 34, and that's sure to slow us enough. We are still pretty far from the Space Center. I think last time we came basically over this way, so we're, you know, a little closer, but not that close. It's still over here somewhere. Let's face retrograde. And we're just about to start hitting the atmosphere. I'm pretty sure this is our we're going to be landing this time, so I am going to detach. Okay, we're slowing up, not as quick as that, and it just passes by, barely missed us. Probably want to detach those earlier so you can kind of drift away a bit, or at least not detach it in the direction you're heading. Alright, we are definitely slowing down. This is coming in, and we are getting re-entry effects. Actually, you see some on that as well. Now, we're not showing heat. We should get a little thermometer if we start to overheat. See, we are slowing down. We need to get under 2250. We should be approaching our periapsis, but as we slow down, our periapsis has dropped. So we're still going down a bit quickly, although, see, it's starting to come back up. We are beginning to rise again. But we are still bringing our apoapsis down. Actually, if we've timed this perfectly, we will rise out of the re-entry effect, maybe up to 45 or 50 kilometers, but then fall back down again. Kind of get a double slowing with a cooling period in between. We are almost suborbital speed. Look at that. I think that's actually what's going to happen. We stopped getting the re-entry effects. Almost away from that. It's going to disappear, but we are continuing to slow down. And we should be suborbital before we leave the atmosphere. So let's see, our apoapsis is now 50 and it's dropping. So we've come through the atmosphere. Slow down a bit, but we're rising out of the re-entry effect area, and we're going to come back down again and slow a second time. Now, I didn't exactly plan it that way, but this is actually, if I understand correctly, how some of the Apollo missions were planned. So they came back and slowed down slowly, so they didn't overheat. We just have to wait for us to drop again. You see, our periapsis has gone inside the planet, so we'll definitely be landing this time. And we'll probably be landing somewhere around here, I believe. So once we get down to about 35 again, we'll begin slowing down a lot more quickly than we are right now. Once we're in this thicker section of the atmosphere, you'll slow down quicker. Alright, we are heading back down again. Passing over some nice mountainous terrain. Now, I'm going to try not to make the same mistake as last time, where we pop the parachute while going faster than Mach 1. I will wait till we get below 300 meters per second, because apparently that changed in 1.02. Alright, we are coming back down pretty good now. Maybe we won't even make it past these mountains, which may be a bit problematic. Landing in mountains is never fun. Although I think we may make it past them. We're still pretty high. We're not coming down too fast yet. Although, we will see. Those are the mountains right up there. Still not quite familiar with how quickly you slow down in the atmosphere. So how far you'll go before landing. Not that I was ever really great with it before 1.0, but at least it was consistent for a whole lot of versions. So you got a little bit of feel for it, even if you weren't, or even if I wasn't particularly great in estimating. Yeah, so we are definitely going to make it past these mountains. But we're not going to wind up in the water, I'm pretty sure of that. Once we get down to 30 or so, we're really going to start slowing down and come down at maybe a 40-degree angle or so. Alright, so we're going about 2 kilometers a second relative to the surface, and here we go, getting our second re-entry heating. How's it look from in there, guys? Well, we're now solidly in the sunny side. We are solidly landing at this point. And yep, the line has come in. So we will be landing on the land. Looks like in the hilly area up here. We're down to 1.5 kilometers per second. It looks hot, but it's surviving. We're not getting the little temperature gauge. The capsules, as far as I know, do have some... Maybe if it's not a real built-in heat shield, it definitely... They have high heat tolerance. Alright, so we are 800 meters per second and slowing 600... 500 meters per second, and we're 11 kilometers up. Alright, we're under 300. We should be safe, but I'm gonna let us drop to about half a kilometer because we are slowing, and we definitely do have the room. It's not like there's a mountain in the way like there would have been back there. We're under 250 meters per second. Gonna pop the chute at 5 kilometers, and then it's gonna open at 500 meters above the surface. Shoot, go. So that really slowed us down. We're now at 150 meters per second and slowing. Let's turn off SAS. Not sure why that wasn't using power, but it wasn't. Alright, open up at any time parachute. There you go. We're down to 11, which is a bit on the quick side. Definitely for these larger capsules, I like to put 2 parachutes on. It should survive. If there was anything else, though, it would probably explode. You know, any other normal parts, fuel tanks, engines, that's too hard. Alrighty. There we go. We're on the surface. We're rolling about a bit. I think we stopped. Let's recover the vessel. And there we go. We returned the guys from Duna. We had to cheat a little because it didn't have enough fuel. The scenario was obviously built before the rebalancing. But I still think we did a pretty good job. So that's going to be it for this episode. I've now looked at all the scenarios. Next time we will be starting a new career mode and attempting to get through all of it. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.